Welcome to the latest Motley Fool scoreboard. I'm on Baloo. We've got longtime fools Jason Hall and Lou Whiteman giving a 1 to 10 rating to a company that has a pretty good Moneyball score of 77. It's Louisiana Pacific, ticker symbol LPX. Rate the strength of Louisiana Pacific's business, including factors like industry and competition. A 10 is invincible. A 1 is hopeless. Lou's at a 6. Jason, you're at a 7.
Yeah, cyclical. Yep. Manufacturer. Yeah, that too. Construction. Probably sounds very unattractive to a lot of investors, but it has been exceptionally well run. And there are tailwinds across the cycle that make this a really compelling business to me. That's why I rated it higher than Lou. Gets really strong margins and returns considering that cyclical / commodity aspects of its business. I think there's a lot to like here.
Yeah. I mean, Jason said it. Solid at what they do. Very solid. But what they do is there's just so many. There's competition. There's just cyclicality, all sorts of stuff. Siding, which makes about half the revenue, is really strong, and they do really well. So it's a solid 6, but it's only a 6 just because of the markets they operate.
Clearly, they do wood-based construction products, right, guys?
Yeah.
For management, a 10 is Warren Buffett. A 1 is Homer Simpson. Both of you have 7s, Jason.
Yeah, my only knock against management and the board, and I don't want this to sound like ageism at all, but I have some concerns about a lack of age diversity. The majority of board members are in their 60s and even 70s. You look at management, Brad Souther's done an incredible job. He's 65. I just have some concerns about succession planning because of that. I'm probably reaching to find something to ding them for, but I would like to see a little bit of a youth movement. Maybe there is in some of the lower level executives, and that's part of the executive planning.
Yeah, that's fair. But and we said this is a solidly run business, and so you got to give a CEO, especially a CEO who came up through the ranks, pretty high marks. And his name is Brad Southern, and I think that is just the perfect name for someone in this role. So that's got to be worth a point. That gets me to a 7.
Right on. For financials, a 10 is a fortress. A 1 is yikes. Both of you have 8s, Jason.
Yeah, it carries about as much cash as debt. A lot of times with manufacturers like this, the debt profile is not attractive. I think it's reasonable here, especially when you look at the margin profiles. They're really good for a cyclical, high capital manufacturing business that is in the weaker part of the cycle.
Yeah, I'm at a 8. Just kind of to underline what Jason said, siding, which is about half of revenue, is over time generated a 30% return on invested capital. That's really, really good. And again, I can't stop saying it, but they're very good at what they do. Look, no one wants vinyl anymore. So they've been able to grow through sort of downturn too. No complaints from me. 8 is about as high as I can go just because of the nature of the business, but seriously, no complaints. They are very good at what they do.
I can never tell if it's a backhanded or a regular compliment when someone says, very good at what they do. It can go all over the place.
It's both.
It's both. Well, yeah, let's
Right.
get into it with the next one. Yeah.
All right, Leah, let's talk valuation, Lou. How well will Louisiana Pacific stock do over the next 5 years? How safe is it? 10's a sure thing. 1's a lottery ticket.
I think for me, in this case, it's a backhanded compliment about the industry, not the business. And so I'm at a 5 to 10%, which is market return for me. Safety at 6. They just look fairly valued to me. We mentioned the headwinds at the top, from housing to tariffs to everything. I don't think those go away quickly. And I think the uncertainty is likely to discourage investment in their business, which sort of kind of makes a drag further than the headwinds. So, still, they've handled it real well. I'm at a 6 on safety. There's a lot of alternatives here, but LPX has been winning. I think they will continue to win, and they will get the business that's out there.
Yeah, my 6 on safety score is because of the industry and the cyclical risk. But I look at the valuation, trades for about 22 times earnings, and we're still in kind of the weaker part of the cycle. So you start factoring in improvements in the cycle, interest rates coming down. There's still massive pent-up demand for housing. So I think there are a lot of trends that should prove favorable over the next 5 years. Of course, the risk is that the cycle doesn't turn quickly. So that's how I came down on that 10 to 15%. I think there's a good chance that it's going to outperform. And that's before factoring in, if you look over the past decade, they've bought back half the company. They've bought back 51% of shares outstanding. That's notably slowed over the past couple of years as they've been smart about keeping the balance sheet strong. So I think once the cycle does turn, we're likely to see earnings grow, and we're likely to see them return back to aggressive share repurchases. And I think all of those things could lead to outperformance here.
Thank you to both Jason and to Lou. You both did really well for you. They've given Louisiana Pacific an all right overall score of 6.8 out of 10. Financials was the only area hitting the magic 8 score. Look out for a new scoreboard every market day at 7 p.m. Eastern. Next up is Birkenstock. Till then, Fool on. Louisiana Pacific. Feel free to pronounce it Southern.
Louisiana.
If you're from Louisiana, you say Louisiana.
No, you say Louisiana.
Oh, do you?